for our delight this weekend, and it's all on Saturday at Stamford Bridge. So we're going to hear from both managers, starting with Mauricio Pochettino on his special relationship with Mikel Arteta.
Not a lot. We haven't had obviously a lot of players. It's the first training session we're going to do today, and we'll know more after the session.
Did the international break come at a good time for you, do you think? I mean, it was such a great win for you, great atmosphere afterwards. But did you want to continue, or did you like the break?
When you're in a good run, you want to continue, but it is what it is. We have used it in the right way. Obviously, we have a lot of players in duty, and connect everybody with the same mindset and go, because we're going to have a really difficult game against Chelsea.
Just looking back on that match, a quick handshake with Pep Guardiola, but I hear he gave you a message after he spoke to you. What did he say?
Nothing, as usual. You know, we have lost quite a lot against them, and when you win, obviously, you get congratulated. It was an important game. It was a beautiful day for us, and we move on. It seems like ages now.
Yeah, absolutely. Your neighbours are currently top, but ultimately, do you still feel it's a two-horse race between yourselves and Manchester City, or do you see other teams involved?
I don't have a clue who is going to be involved. We want to be there. That's the only thing that I know. In order to do that, we have to be perfect, and the league is so demanding. You see it every single week, and I think it's very, very open.
And how much are you looking forward to the game tomorrow? So it's always an entertaining one, Chelsea, isn't it? Chelsea.
It's a big game, and we know, and there is a big history between the two clubs, and the type of games that we have played against them. It's a very different one. I think this season I've been really impressed by Chelsea. I think they deserve much more than what they got on the table. I think what Mauricio is in a really short time, it's phenomenal, and we're going to have to be at our best tomorrow.
I bet Kai Havertz is excited to go back, isn't he?
And Georgia.
I just wanted to touch about an article I read yesterday on Aaron Ramsdale. He said he feared for his England place if he doesn't win his place back in the Arsenal side. How do you approach that? Do you try and give him more games, or does he just have to win his place back? It's not easy for you.
It's not easy for any player when he's not playing as much as he would like to. But the only way to do it is to work harder, to show the passion that you have for the game, to contribute to the team in a different way. And when you get the opportunity, do your best and try to help the team to win the game.
Finally, a club close to your heart. Rangers appointed a new manager this week, Philippe Clement. I know how much you love the club. Do you want to make a few comments?
I wish him the best, and hopefully he can deliver again what he's done in other clubs, because he has a phenomenal career already. So wish him all the best, and hopefully we can get the club back to where we want. Thank you.
Roger from the Premier League.
Hi, Mikel. Just going back to the Manchester City result, a lot of people were saying at the time that would be a massive psychological step for Arsenal to get that win under their belt. Is that something you can genuinely feel around the place since then, and just getting the players in over the last couple of days? Is it something you can take into the Chelsea game?
Well, that's the last experience, the last feeling that we had between us, and it was a beautiful one. You could sense in the atmosphere the importance of the game, and the way we won it and how we competed against that team. But it's just a game, and now it's about having the consistency and keeping the standards very, very high, because the next game against Chelsea is going to be even harder.
Chelsea themselves, difficult start to the season. They've won their last 3 in all competitions. Was it always a matter of time for Chelsea that with the players and the squad that they have, that things would eventually start to click? Or do you think it's too soon to say that they've turned?
I think when you look, first of all, the coaching staff they have, the history at the club that they have, and the players and the squad that they have, is going to happen. I think it has happened pretty quickly. Not only the last 3 results, I think, as I said, again, I think they deserve much more in terms of points and results than what they already have. So you can see that they're going to be up there.
How difficult has it been to prepare? Obviously, the players have been away, internationals, you've had injuries. In terms of putting together the team that you'd want to send out on Saturday, have you got an idea in your head, or is it still a matter of, I'm going to have to see where we are going right up to
I do have the idea, but I have to see them all together today, how everybody is, because we have a lot of people traveling around the world and with a lot of minutes in their legs, and I want to have and judge what is the best for tomorrow, not only in terms of what I want to do tactically, but how is the energy, how is the mood, how is the spirit, and in order to do that, I'm going to have a better clue after the game, after the training session today. Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi. Very good.
Chelsea have been this season. They've spent a lot of money over the last couple of years, but they haven't bought an out-and-out striker, an out-and-out number 9. In a sense, they're playing for players in that position. You started doing that when you were at Man City. You've done it a bit when you were at Arsenal. In terms of not having an out-and-out striker. Can you explain the bonuses of that from a managerial perspective?
Well, I think having the players with different qualities give you different options, and always as well is related to the opponent. What behaviors do they have, and what are the players you have around that nine? You have midfielders as a wingers that they only come to feed, and a nine that wants to come to feed, and attacking midfielders that are more holding midfielders, and you don't have any threat. You have a nine that wants to come attacking midfielders that are constantly threatening the last line, proper wingers there, then it becomes a different threat. You have players in the last line that can progress the play. Do you have players in the last line that can link to those pocket swaps and make the runs and attract central defenders? It depends a lot of the qualities of all the players. You can't just isolate the nine. You have to see the whole thing, how it connects, and what kind of threats and things that you do. For sure, if you don't have a big nine inside the box, you lose something. If you're going to start to cross over with your fullbacks, you're going to have probably an issue. But there are many ways to attack, and depending on the opponent, obviously, maybe that option is better than another one.
In those sort of systems, are the midfield players, like, for example, Havertz or Odegaard, as important as the guy who's right down the centre, or is it more the players like Martinelli who is approaching 100 games for Arsenal?
I think it's the combination of those qualities and the assets and ingredients that you should have as a team to attack well, and it's not only the nine, but it's many other players.
Finally, you don't know if Bukayo Saka is back this weekend. You won't know until after training. England are now qualified. Would you like to see, from an Arsenal point of view, maybe him getting a little bit more time off internationally, as we all know he's going to play in the Euros next summer, so that you have more options to using this season, or do you think that's unrealistic?
Well, I don't know how they're going to approach it. Obviously, when our players are fit, we are really happy to let them go to the national team, and we always done that. And the players want to go, and I think it's a great fulfillment and opportunity for them every time they are there. So if players are fit, they're going to be available to be taken.
But he's seen as the jewel in your crown and the jewel in England's crown as well. We don't want him to burn out this season.
No, you don't, but you don't know the balance. But you ask the players, sometimes they feel much better when they are playing every 3 or 4 days. They can get a knock, they can get an injury. This is part of the game.
Hello, Mikel. Does Saka want to play tomorrow?
I'm sure he wants to play.
He told you he wants to
I don't see any player there that he doesn't want to be in the starting 11.
And on Saliba, can you just explain what the injury is? Is it an injury to his big toe? I mean, it sounds like it's quite a rare injury. And Is that a reoccurring problem? I mean, could this basically plague him till the end of the season, or is it just a one-off?
Hopefully not, but obviously he's been carrying that for weeks now, and we have to use that time as well to settle, and we believe that it was the best moment to do it.
So is he a doubt for tomorrow, or do you...
Depending again how he's able to train today.
Just in terms of Chelsea, I think when you took over at Arsenal had a bit of a problem with winning away against rivals, and you turned that around. I think you could beat Chelsea 4 times in a row. So have you just got better players now? Is the mentality going away at Stamford Bridge? You're now favourites. How's that all come about within the squad that they can go there and win?
I don't know. It goes, I think, game by game, and tomorrow they have a really strong squad. They play at home. We have as well. We're in a good moment. We'll try to play better than them and beat them, and that's it. And what happened in the past, it doesn't really matter.
And just a word on Pochettino. Have you had much dealings with him over the years? What do you make of him as a manager and person?
Well, first of all, obviously, it was my first professional opportunity in Paris, and we just arrived at the same time. We lived together in a hotel for 3 months. He was critical. He's been one of the most influential persons in my football career, first of all, as a player. Without him, he took me under the arm like this, and he looked after me like a little child, a little brother, and it was big part of the success I had in Paris. It was because of him as well, because we have to make the decision to leave playing and start my coaching career. He had a big say on that, and I will be always grateful to what he's done for me.
Have you had dinner since he's been back in London?
Yeah, we've seen each other a couple of times, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, go to Mark, okay?
Just on that, when you did retire as a player, there was talk that you might have been talking with Mauricio. Was that something that was ever close?
Probably that was because of our relationship, but I had various opportunities to go, and I didn't know, and I wanted his advice, obviously, and his experience, and that was very important for me as well to make the decision that I made.
No, I think we need to assess now because we finished training session a little bit late, and we need to assess Axel Disasi. We need to assess Nico Jackson. We need to assess also Reese. Broja is out because he's a little bit irritated his knee, but it's the another knee. No, there was a problem in the past. Yes, we have few players that we need to assess to see if tomorrow can be available, can play, or can be on the bench, or maybe out of the list.
So Broja,
Out.
everyone else still possible because
The others.
yeah.
Yes, Benoit can be available also to be on the bench. Benoit Badiashile.
There's stories about Reece James having a setback. Can you set that straight?
No. He was training good the last few days, and I think it's now to talk about with all the medical staff and everything, and decide if it can be, in part of the squad tomorrow.
Just finally on this bit, Fernandez and Caicedo obviously got back quite late.
Well, Fernandez, Enzo trained yesterday.
Yeah.
Caicedo arrived yesterday on the afternoon and was checking for the doctor and was in a very good state. And I think today trained with us, with the group, and I think they are ready.
How much better was this international break for you than the last one?
Oh, that was the worst. I think it was the worst because only a few players training, and then I think we enjoy a lot because we discover many young talent players from the academy. I think we were training with 10, 11, 12, 14, sometimes some days with the young kids, and that was very good. And then only available Thiago, Rain, and Marco Curella, no, and of course Robert Sanchez. But I think 80% of the squad was out, and some injured player. But I think was good because today was the first day that we can. That is why I am late always, because after the international, because more than half an hour meetings and then training and try to to prepare the game for tomorrow, because only today we have all the players and all the squad ready to prepare the game.
Just finally, you said it was difficult, but the fact you went in having won 3 games in a row, you must feel much better about where you are in terms of.
Yes, it was a shame. It was a shame because we it's to keep the momentum, no, and we didn't take advantage of that, and now it's to build another momentum. But I think we are confident. I think the team is confident. The players have different mood than 1 month ago. And I think, yes, too many positives in. Still fighting, still struggling with some injuries or players that we cannot recover 100%, but I think we are working really hard to try to, to find solutions, and of course, we are in a very positive way.
Thank you. There'll be a club update on injuries going out on our channel shortly. Alex Bilby.
Hi, Mauricio.
Hi.
Such a tough fixture tomorrow against Arsenal, but
I prefer the tough.
you prefer
fixture.
tough.
Yes, I prefer.
So if you were to get a good result in such a tough fixture,
I think we are thinking to win tomorrow. We respect Arsenal. It's a great team, and you know very well that it's Mikel, that is part of my family. I'm going to meet him tomorrow. Yes, it's going to be tough because they are doing a great job. Very good squad, very good team. They are playing so well. They are in the Premier League, if not the Champions League, and I think they are doing fantastic job. And it's going to be tough, but also we are confident that we can give our best and to do a very good game.
you say that Mikel is part of your family. You spoke this morning. You said he's been one of the most influential people in his career. What are your memories of your time with him at PSG?
Amazing memories. I think is when you connect with a person like him, and we share the values and we share the passion of football. And yes, I can tell you, he's part of my family. From the day one that he arrived to Paris, we arrived together. We spent time together with our families also. First of all, in a few months in the hotel, and then we live very close, and it was an amazing history. And of course, for me, it's not surprised me what he's doing, because he was coach already when he was 17, when I know him. Already was a coach, and trust me, he was really good. The judgment in the how to see football, and it's not surprised me. He's great, still really young, and of course improving day by day. He can be one of the greatest managers in the world.
We send some messages about the games and WhatsApp.
No, of course we are not sending message now. Before the season starts, yes, of course, but now no, because I think we don't have time, because it's really tough to be coach, and we are thinking in trying to prepare the game and the team not only tomorrow, if not in every single game, and we are focusing that.
Just finally, I want to ask you a question on the number of injuries. Do you think it's just bad luck, or is it something you're looking into?
No, I think I told you it's not only bad luck. It's always the profile of players. Sometimes that the history and we can assess, and we can see when we arrive here. If you start to see every single situation, yes, it's not only bad luck. Of course, sometimes it's too many factors that can influence. Of course, that we are professional, and we try to also to find the best method and to bring the best platform and tools to the player to be strong and feel good. I think it's only a matter of time, because this organization is new, the team is new, everything is new in this club. It's only about to know each other, is to try the player to assess in the right way, and to provide them the best tool to improve, and to help them to to feel strong.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
John Southall, BBC.
Just one more on Mikel. I think it's right to say it's the first time you've come up against him as a manager. So what's that going to be?
Yes, no, it's the first time.
Yeah, it's the first time.
But no, I think he was in Manchester City when we played, against Tottenham.
But
Manchester
as
City.
a manager rather than as a number two, or
Yeah, but for me, I consider him like a coach with Pep, and all the coaching staff. It's like my coaching staff, Yeah, but it's true.
yeah, what would it be like?
Yes, okay. I understand the question. No, it's going to be really nice, because yes, my love for him is there, and it's a family. It's more than friend. It's family, and that's why it's going to be strange. But look, we are very competitive. All the coaches, we are very competitive, and when you go to play against, also if he's part of my family, we want to win and to destroy, the opponent. And yes, but it's going to be strange. But I think in some point, I'm going to feel proud to see him and to compete with us.
You still meet up with him? You have dinner with him now? You're both obviously back in the Premier League, living very close by.
Sorry,
Do you still meet up with him, have dinner with him, exchange ideas with him?
the last time, few time, no, not really, because when I was in Tottenham and he was Arsenal or in Manchester City, yes, but after I was to Paris, and we didn't have the time to see each other. I think we didn't have the time, but of course, why not? In the future, we can share a nice barbecue.
Yeah, and this game tomorrow, will it give you some kind of idea where you're at with your progress when you come up against the side like Arsenal? As you said, the team are challenging for everything.
Yeah, the progress of them, if you ask me, I think it was amazing, because from the beginning, same time that we were leaving Tottenham, yes, was it? No.
Yeah.
Yes, was similar time, no? And he was in charge, and he took in charge in Arsenal. Of course, from the beginning it was really tough. I think 1 year and a half was really tough. But I think the good thing that the club trusts on him, and give all the the tools, and really believe in the way that to rebuild.
Do you see similarities to here now?
No, it's completely different, because I think we arrived to a different pressure. But I think the most important is that the capacity for him with the club, because I think credit to the club also, Mikel and the club to create this bond in between both, and really trust, and look now the result. after 3-4 years. We are talking about Arsenal that is fighting for big things.
I love that story, but it's also a little bit of extra spice because you're playing someone you know very well and you want.
But is it though? Because we've come a long way since Arsene Wenger shoving Jose Mourinho in the chest.
Oh, that was golden.
Exactly. That was like taking it to the streets. This is like the I was going to say the Brady Bunch, but you guys are way too young.
I'm not, mate. I'll be honest with you. I know I look it.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it doesn't mean that they, competitive natures to be managers at this level. It doesn't mean it's not going to be a scrap out there on Saturday.
Well, look, we know what type of managers they both are. They're both passionate managers, heart on their sleeves managers, and they both want the best for their respective sides. So there's always going to be a little spite in the air, a little bit of, rough and tumble. However, once the full-time whistle's gone, I can guarantee you they'll be back in the manager's office sharing a bottle of rosé or a bottle of Merlot or whatever it may be. I know. Rosé's my thing.
Revealing far too much here on tonight.
Too soon, wasn't it? I was supposed to wait another 20 minutes.
From a Chelsea perspective, they had their best game of the season. I'm sure of it, against Burnley. And I can tell you because I was pitch side and I then got stuck in Burnley when they cancelled all the trains. So saw all the drunk Chelsea fans, probably not drinking rosé, but really enjoying themselves afterwards. That was phenomenal. And Sterling was the tormentor in chief. He was fantastic.
And probably inspired by the fact that he was left out of the England squad when he was absolutely qualified to be part of that group of players. He's done so well for his country before, and he is running into a nice vein of form. 6 goals in their last 2 games for Chelsea. Before that, 5 in their previous 6. And you can tell that they're running into a nice vein of form. They're using Sterling particularly well. They still don't have Nkunku. They still have a number of players actually that aren't available to them. But he is taking that responsibility. You know all about that, Jermaine. And how would you assess?
Do you know what? Sterling is one of those players that you just love to watch. I would hate to play against him, genuinely. I would love to watch him and be on the same team as him because if the ball comes out to him, you just leave him isolate himself with the fullback, let him do his thing. You get in the box and just wait for the delivery. And especially now, he's got a point to prove to Gareth Southgate, leaving him out of the England squad, as you mentioned. And I think that Burnley game, I felt sorry for them because that was the moment where he said, right, I'm going to show you why you should have brought me along. This is what you're missing out on. Unbelievable.
But he also had to fight his way back into the starting 11 at Chelsea for that Burnley game. And so it was a little bit of like showing my club manager, showing my national team manager as well. Just from a Chelsea perspective, they've hit form, it seems, at the right time. And they don't have this great record against Arsenal. I know you know the stats.
I do indeed. Arsenal won 6 of the last 7. And Arteta has a better squad for all the money that Chelsea have spent. A lot of their players are younger players or players making the step up from lesser clubs, smaller clubs, and having to cope with that pressure. I think as far as Arsenal are concerned, a lot of their players are battle-hardened. And even the players they've brought into the mix, Declan Rice has just come off winning the Europa Conference League with West Ham, a club that you're always under pressure when you pull on their shirt. So to actually lead them to their first victory in 4 decades is quite something. And I think I look at that Arsenal team. They fought for a Champions League place 2 seasons ago. They failed back then, but obviously they're into the Champions League now, just touched off in the title race last season. I think all over the pitch they are the superior team.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
You said that last time.
I promise. I absolutely promise this is a safe space. The title race that you mentioned Arsenal were involved in, it feels like the title race went to pieces as soon as Saliba went to pieces. And I was saying off air, do you guys know about football age? Because we always make this joke in Africa about football age. I want to see Saliba's passport.
Is he
really that age?
You think he's so mature for his age?
Absolutely. The reading of the game belies his years.
It does indeed. I think a major part of Arsenal falling off at the last hurdle last season coincided with Saliba, but also Thomas Partey. And that's 2 key players in the defensive elements to help out. So they're going to have to pull other players in from other areas and try and fit them in.
Whereas this season, you look at the players that they've got in, Declan Rice, as you mentioned, he's battle hardened. He knows that he could play holding centre mid or he could play in defence if need be. So they've got the reinforcements wherever they need them, which I feel is going to be beneficial for them in the long run.
You
know, on the back of that, I think, you say he can play there or he can play central defence. But the thing about Declan is he takes responsibility. So
he's
if
the captain, isn't he?
Saliba does vacate that space, for example, he goes and he takes responsibility and fills in. He doesn't just become accomplished in one position.
Yeah.
And I think that's you could say that about all of the players in the Arsenal team. They all are so adept now at assuming the kind of responsibility you need. The one area where I think they do have, it's not an issue anymore because we know that Wright is the number one goalkeeper, but I think Ramsdale will leave in January because I think he'll have to. If he wants to have a chance of playing in the European Championship finals in the summer, he's got to play regular first team football, and he won't be able to do that at Arsenal.
Right, so the No Room for Racism campaign continues across match